On one side of the table, you have Blake Lively, and on the other side, you have Justin Baldoni, the sensitive leading man, the director, and, depending on who you asked 3 months ago, the villain of the summer. Blake was holding what she thought was a royal flush. She wasn't just playing the game, she was narrating it. The word on the street, and by street, I mean the highly polished marble floors of Hollywood's elite, was that Blake was convinced Justin had settled a nasty copyright case because he was guilty. She floated that narrative like a parade float at Macy's. The cards eventually hit the table. And as it turns out, Blake wasn't holding a royal flush. She was holding a pair of twos, and the house just called her bluff. The latest twist in this saga involves a lawsuit, a high-powered attorney named Brian Friedman, and a surviving spouse narrative that has completely crumbled. It's messy, it's dramatic, and frankly, it's getting a little embarrassing for the Gossip Girl alum. When It Ends With Us began its press run, something felt off. While Justin Baldoni was out talking about the heavy, necessary themes of domestic violence, Blake Lively was seemingly promoting a romantic comedy. She was telling us to grab our florals and head to the theater, while simultaneously distancing herself from her director and co-star. Then came the Whisper campaign. Suddenly, rumors started swirling that Justin was difficult on set. Then the stakes got higher. A narrative emerged that Justin had settled a copyright case in the past, a move that Blake reportedly cited as definitive proof of his guilt and shady character. She used this to justify the rift, painting herself as the righteous protector of the film's integrity. It was a brilliant PR move. By framing Justin as someone with a dark legal past, it made any creative differences on set look like Justin's fault. It was the ultimate "trust me, I know things you don't" play. Enter Brian Friedman. If you aren't familiar with the name, he's the legal shark celebrities call when they want to win, and win loudly. The narrative Blake's camp allegedly pushed was this: Justin Baldoni was only able to navigate his legal troubles because he traded up to Brian Friedman. The story went that a surviving spouse of a former client sued Friedman, alleging he dumped their interests to take on the guilty Baldoni. It was a two-hit combo. It made Justin look guilty by association. It made his legal representation look corrupt. For a while, the internet ate it up. We love a corrupt Hollywood story. It fit the mean girl narrative perfectly. Blake was the whistleblower, exposing the rod in Justin's camp. As the legal dust settled and the actual court documents became public knowledge, a startling realization emerged. The narrative was a lie. The allegations against Friedman regarding his representation of Baldoni were debunked. There was no trading up. There was no guilty settlement in the way it was framed. So if the legal smoking gun Blake was pointing at Justin was actually a water pistol, what does that mean for her credibility? The tragedy of the Blake versus Justin saga isn't just about a movie, it's about the weaponization of influence. The problem is that Blake seemed to underestimate the digital age's ability to fact-check in real time. By trying to cancel Justin using a legal narrative that didn't hold water, she inadvertently shifted the spotlight onto her own behavior. The public began to notice the discrepancies. Why was she talking about hair care and floral arrangements while Justin was talking about survivors? Why was she focused on a debunked legal case while the film was breaking box office records? The embarrassment isn't just that she was wrong, it's that she was so sure she was right that she let the narrative run wild. Brian Friedman and Justin Baldoni's story was a fabrication. The backlash was swift. Did you know that social media sentiment for Blake Lively dropped by nearly 40% in the weeks following the film's release? It wasn't because of the movie itself, which was a hit, but because of the perceived mean girl energy behind the scenes. People don't like being lied to. More importantly, people don't like seeing a nice guy get dragged through the mud for things he didn't do. Justin Baldoni, by all accounts, handled the drama with a level of grace that made Blake's rumored tactics look even more aggressive by comparison. Blake Lively is currently in a reputation deficit. To fix it, she's going to have to do something celebrities hate doing: own the mistake. The narrative that Justin must have been guilty because of a settled case is a dangerous one. In the legal world, settlements happen for a million reasons that have nothing to do with guilt, cost, time, privacy, or simply moving on. Using a settlement as a character assassination tool is a low blow, and the public saw it for what it was. Blake Lively is losing this round. It's embarrassing. We're watching a masterclass in how not to handle a PR crisis. By doubling down on a lie, you don't just hurt the other person, you dismantle your own house brick by brick. As the dust continues to settle, we have to wonder, is this the end of the Blake Lively golden era, or can she pivot back to the relatable, charming star we once knew? What do you think? Did Blake go too far with the Justin Baldoni narrative, or is this just typical Hollywood, he said, she said, blown out of proportion? Share this article with a friend who's obsessed with the drama, and let us know your thoughts in the comments below.